Testing. Okay, that's better. Small difficulties. That's what I wanted. Okay. Okay. Let's first of all let's update the wishlist counter because I hadn't had time. That is it. Drum roll. It's at 61. That's awesome. In one day, 9 new wish lists. Thanks, guys. That's great. Let's go over what I did yesterday. What's the title of my game? Okay. So, don't remember which tasks I did before or after the stream. But yeah, I updated the screenshots. I revamped the start area. I made it more concise. I added an ending area. And I adjusted the palette. So there were some colors in the palette that were too saturated compared to the rest. I brought them down. And that frees them up for enemy colors. So that's great. And adjust some stuff. Bug fixes. Made a short, streamed on Twitch. Yeah, that's it. And revamped the start area. I just literally just shrunk it. Yeah. The task for today is just had this yesterday. And I just saw the paper a minute ago. Well, it's balancing. It's there it is. It is path progression, ramp up monsters and loot. That's what I'm doing. I have more balancing work to do tomorrow and the day after that. Because of that, I started with a bot. So I wrote a bot for the game today. It took me 6 hours, more or less. And that bot is pretty dumb, but it can walk through the game, fight monsters, pick up loot, heal itself, cure itself of poison, etc. what you would expect. And I am in the process of adjusting monster health, hero health, hero attack, and monster attack. So that's what I'm working at. And if we let me just run the bot. So there are 2 modes that the bot can run in. The first one is just a visual one where I can watch what it does. And the second one is headless. That means it dumps log files that I can use to see how far. For example, I let it run for 100 runs, and then I can see how far the bot has gotten before it died. And yeah, that's how I intend to balance the game. And it's I've been tweaking some numbers, and it's quite a mess right now. But if I run bmake tests, then the bot does its thing. This is pretty good for a number of reasons. The first one is that I can get a feeling for the damage numbers, how long fights take, how much damage the bot takes, how health regenerates, how it finds stuff, and yeah, the second one is the log file thing. Or am I missing something already? I don't think so. So it's not the brightest spot, but it works pretty well. It's actually pretty simple to implement. So it just uses a heat map. So it ups the value of the tile where it already was, and then it always chooses the tile with the lowest value to go next. And I've put in some heuristics, so it kind of knows where the path goes. I cast a star every move and tell it, okay, this is hot and cold, kind of. This way is hot, this way is cold. But the main thing it does is look at the heat map. And I had to write some code for entering the interiors. And yeah, that was a bit of a hassle, but... And as you see, I had to make the boulders destructible only for the bot runs, because the bot just can't handle them. But that's fine. What that means I can't find dead ends with this bot that have to do with the boulders, but yeah, I'm balancing the game right now, and finding dead ends is another task. But I think so when I played the game, and so the bot just runs through them. But when I played the game a bunch, and also edited the terrain and looked at it from top to bottom. I couldn't find... I think I found one instance where the boulders were a problem. What is a problem is, and that's not solved, I haven't solved that, is that when I place the... when I place the corpses that are... those are blocking, but just like bushes you can destroy them. But let's say you have a narrow passage with a boulder in it, and behind that is a bush, then you can't push the boulder through the bush, so you're hard stuck. That's okay, I can see that in the world and remove the bush, but if I spawn a corpse in exactly that location, then that also destroys the run. One solution would be to just don't spawn them around boulders, but it could also be spawned at the end of the corridor, and that's the same problem. So I've not quite solved that yet. But yeah, the first thing I have to change is these damage numbers. So it's either the health is too high or the damage is too low. I think it might actually be both, but yeah, I'm actually not quite sure. I'm stumbling a bit, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. It's just trial and error for today. Yeah, let's kill the bot and change the numbers. So I am... what was it before? Yeah, before the enemies were scaled with the hero level. Now I scale them relative to the path. So I've divided the path into 20 sections, and those determine the stats of the monsters. So this is the attack damage function. The hero gets his strength and the weapon added to the base damage, and the monster gets 1 point of damage every 2 sections, plus another point every 5,000 turns. 5,000 turns is a lot, so this is more of a late game thing. Yeah, so it ramps up more towards the end of the game. And then down here I have the defense. That is, the hero gets his armor rating and the defense stat, and monsters get nothing. But I'm not quite sure why the damage is so low. It's just 2 or 3 points of damage. This is the attack roll, so every attacker rolls from 1 to the attack value they have. And then it gets added to the... maybe I should switch this around. So the attack roll currently is fixed. But I could add the strength and the weapon to the attack roll instead of... Well, this actually... that might be bad. Yeah, because damage will be all over the place. Let's look at the numbers. So I've put them all in these 2 variables. The attack roll, well, that might explain it. It's only 1. And let's put this to 3. And this is the base health. Let's put this to 6. Let's run the bot again. And see what happens. Okay, that's a 5. That's 5, 4. Okay, that looks better already. And this is a speed. I've slowed it down so I can see it. So I could. Oh, that's more complicated. But I could run 1 turn per frame, and then it flies all over the place. But I've realized this is quite okay. The log dumping, the headless mode for the bot is, of course, running it as fast as it can. Okay, I think it's still a bit spongy. So let's reduce the health of the monsters again. And I'm doing this, I'm not playing myself because I want to do this pretty costly. And I mean, this is the beginning of the game. This is the easy part to balance. The hard part is the later game. Maybe I've changed something stupidly here. So yeah, this should be 0. The hero level should not start at 1. And the same goes for the entities. Okay, that's the starting health of the monsters. It's also by these sections pretty much the same as the attacks. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. Where was the other thing? New level. think that was it. Defender level +1. Okay, that's experience. That's another thing that I'll have to care about. 2 HP per level. Okay, then that's a 0 in the beginning. Oh, this is scaling by level. This is scaling the monsters by level as well. That makes sense. Let's remove this. And for the hero 2 probably. Yeah. Let's keep that for a second. 6 for 12. Oh, Ethan. Sorry, that's still my brain. How's it going? Okay, 8 health looks a bit scary. Good, yeah. How you, dude? I'm doing fine. A bit sleepy, but otherwise it's all fine. Had a coffee yet? Yeah, several. I also have one here. But yeah, I've been toiling away the game. Yeah, I wrote a bot. This is the bot playing. And I'm looking at the damage numbers. For the scaling. Okay, let's actually move the hero health to 8 or maybe more. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I was pretty happy when I saw it the first time. The bot playing. Wrong mode. Okay, that's 10 health for the player. That looks good. Yeah, didn't go in that door. Okay, but the menu, not menu, but the inventory is in the upper left here. I'm showing the inventory of the bot, but it's adding +1 because I still set the level to 1 somewhere for an entity. I'll have to check that in a second. Yeah, let's blast off some bots. What was it? Metrics. Yeah. Okay. Oh, actually, I have to delete the file first. Oh, is it still playing audio? That's funny. Didn't know that. It's crazy that that works, because it's playing incredibly fast. Where are the levels? What's logging new thread? That's GDB. That's just the debugger. So yeah, these are the runs. Yeah, don't have the legend here. That's a bummer. But it's the first thing is just the index. Second one is the how many turns the bot lived. This one is how many patches deep it got. This is no, this wait, these are the patches. No. These are the turns, patches. This is level. And then this is what killed it. And then equipment stuff. So if I knew how to handle data, I could visualize this, but I think I can just dump it into a tool online if I needed to. But yeah, the important one is the how far did it get. So 76 is not bad for a stupid bot. And I need just one bot to make it. Then I can say it's balanced. Kind of. That's a joke actually. But that's a milestone. And yeah, for that I'll have to balance the game correctly. But where is the... It's also a new level. Return 1, there it is. Yeah, okay, so this is pretty much the same. And this is the gear with which it died. And it's pretty often none. So I need to add more chests. But the bot is also not very good at searching for stuff, so... Okay, 71, that was pretty fast for 71. Okay. Where am I? Close this. Let's see if the item levels are fixed. Still at 10 health. Yeah, okay. Stone, normal stone now. So the bot knows how to equip weapons. And I think it just drops. Yeah, I think it equips gear. If the inventory is full, it just drops something randomly. Oh, and what I forgot to mention, I also made 2, maybe 3 more music tracks, but they might replace the old ones. So that's net 0. But yeah, that went pretty well last night, and I think I know what I have to do for more tracks. Okay, still level 0. I should add more visual data here. But then again, this is pretty slow. Okay, level 1 now. I should at least print the section. Section and path index. Let's do that. Actually, I have a render function. Yeah. That needs an E. And then I can just add this on top. And that is the path index. Path at yeah, I'll need the patch first. Okay, that's all there. Never mind. XPTB. Of course, it's static. Yeah, let's move it out into the globals. Okay, so experience points is another thing. I mean, 1 experience point for 1 monster is pretty nice, but that might cause problems. I'm not sure how many levels I've planned. So what I found is that the original Rogue is actually many of the gameplay features don't work in this setting. And that's a bummer. But I think I can at least be inspired by some of them. But the thing in Rogue is that you're often just running into a wall where you have to find your way through, even though you don't have a way. And that's a bit more tricky here. What's it doing? Okay. Okay, this is section 3, still at level 0. And I think I'm aiming for 10 levels now. Okay, it died. That is... So the idea is that I can produce paths with 100 patches pretty easily. If I go up to 150, that might reduce the number of paths I can have because the generator runs into problems. 100 paths is... What was it? I'm not sure, but I'm guessing about 2 hours if you're playing really fast. And then, of course, much longer if you take your time. But I'll have to confirm that by playing a complete run myself, which I will attempt after I see a bot clear it, because the bot is pretty stupid. So it should be easier for humans to clear the game if the bot can do it. But now it's it's backtracking. Okay. And it died. I was looking if the... I thought it was a later section and the monster scaled up, but no. I mean, they look kind of spongy. Let me play it myself. Yeah, the bot can't push boulders. So that's a advantage. A disadvantage. Okay, I think I've never been on this path. Yeah, I had to reduce the hunger clock for the bot because it's just walking around so much randomly. So that's another challenge. Figuring out how that should pressure the player. Oh, and I changed the path stones. They are blue now and have a different sprite. This is a dead end. Oh, there we go. This feels pretty fair so far with these numbers. We have stone. That was close. But level up, and that was a quick level up. No? I mean, actually it has to be the same way as it always was. Because I haven't touched that. Okay, nice, that feels good. Wow, 5 potions. I know I cranked up those numbers, but that's a bit excessive. Maybe I reduce those numbers later on. I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, another potion. Okay, so there's definitely have a problem there, because I didn't really try. And here again, and I found all this stuff, but the bot doesn't. Yeah, that has to change. That has to go back to how it was. Let's do that immediately. And that is in the item.c loot. And there is vases and corpses and chests. Let's move the deer down here. Yeah, so I swapped this. It was 1 time out of 3 drop something, but now it's 1 out of 5 don't drop something. So let's make it as it was, and this was also harsher. So now it is every 20th chest is empty. But what was it? I mean, chests should almost always have something. So let's say yeah, 1 in 3 is empty. 1 in 3. And deer the same. Or am I missing something here? Let's make this 1 and 2. Because these are the most abundant. Okay. Okay, that's a good roll again. Very good roll. Maybe I actually make this 1 out of 3. Okay. Started the wrong one. Started the bot. Okay, didn't pick up that stone, but that's realistic. Picked up that one. So running around in circles. Yeah, if there's 20 sections and there's 10 levels, it should be level 1 in section 2. And so on. Always double. Always half of the section. Oh, stone plus 2. That's awesome. That's a lucky bot. Let's see if it survives. Nope. Let's do a... Let's create some metrics. Why does it play audio here but not in the actual game? It's weird. Tail. Okay. So these are potions and medicine and food. So they all pretty much have food. So that's the most abundant. Or it might also be that the bot is the best at picking up food. Because I think it attacks deer. I also haven't programmed in what the boss should do if it actually wins the game. Yeah, this is all just a heuristic. But I think if 1% of the bots make it, then it should be... I mean, it should be much easier for humans. $21,000 turns in patch 10. How does that work? She must have gotten stuck. Yeah, that's also funny. Sometimes the bots get stuck. I haven't seen it in quite a while, but thanks to the hunger meter, they eventually starve and the game resets. Otherwise, that would be a problem. Okay, these bots are having a hard time. Well, 25, that's a fourth of the way. And they all die to monsters. So I think it's that they don't pick up enough health potions. And I think health potions is third from last, the number. It makes sense that that's 0, because the bot would have used them. Oh, 98. This one already almost made it. I should have printed the seed as well, so I could look at the path. But oh well. There's only so much I can do in 3 days. So that's fine. But I know I should keep a log. Yeah, the actual task I've not started yet, which is adding, well, actually kind of did. Yeah, it's not that complicated. So I want to introduce new monsters, of course, along the path, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. I could just so I mean, I like the idea of having monsters appear later in the game. So what I could do is, the easiest version is just swap out the ones in the game. So for that reason, I've only placed half of the monster types I have in the world, so that I can swap them out with the others. The deeper the player is into the path. So I have, for example, skeletons that are the most abundant right now. But I'll swap some of those out with robbers, which I'll have to do tonight. But then, let's say and I can do this in a staggered way, but I'm actually not quite sure. Let's say the simplest solution: if you're beyond the halfway point, skeletons turn into ghouls. For example, they can behave differently. They don't have to behave the same, but they will just replace the skeletons in the world. And that is the simplest solution. And yeah, compartmentalizing this is a struggle, but I think this is completely separate from the level up scaling issue. So I could do that later. But what I should do instead, I should have a way of seeing the monster level while watching the bot. Does that make sense? I'll think of that in a minute. So another huge problem is gear. So the bot doesn't find the gear. Or there may just be none. Could also be the case, but let's give the bot a whole bunch of gear and see how it goes. And for that I have this, which I use for making shorts. But can I write like that? Not sure actually, but I just want to give him a shield maybe. There's also no test. Yeah, let's give him 3 of these, whatever it will be. And that's a new item, that's quantity. Don't think that's level. Shield. Okay, the bot doesn't know how to use the sling, so... Or the stones. Yeah, let's do it proper. Didn't get anything. Yeah, it's mprog. Why didn't that work? Because I know this works. Oh, I think it's... Oh, the bot doesn't initialize the hero. Nope. That's super weird. Should be shown here as inventory. What am I missing? Let's just give him a axe straight up, and that works. Okay. It's even weirder. Progress test or